Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to News Roundup for the week. Um, so a lot happened politically this week. Some bigger stories, so less smaller and some bigger. So what's up, Jason Digger? How y'all doing? Um, so we're gonna start with former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden, and he's lost as normal. Hey, Daisy Girl over on Rumble. What a creep, dude! Like this guy for real. What an absolute creep. Speaking of being a creep, uh, he once again is using the DOJ for his bidding. Um, Eric Adams recently said that illegal immigration was a problem. So of course the FBI has to keep people in lockstep. So this is a video of the FBI raiding the house of one of Eric Adams' aides. This took place the other day. Wait, there's no sound? Oh, seriously? There's no sound in any of those? Let me reshare it. See if that makes a difference. Share tab. Was there any sound in that clip? Well, this one doesn't have sound, so we'll be good with that. And then I'll try and get it figured out. Uh, yeah, my internet's like being super weird, but Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has signed a bill to allow the release of the Epstein grand jury documents. So that's big news. Hopefully, something actually comes with that. Um, nope, no sound on anything but me. That's beautiful. Uh, let me see. Audio. Thanks StreamYard for the no sound, so I'll monitor it for the next one. Um, and then, so nothing will probably come to that, but it's nice to know that DeSantis is going to try and release the Jeffrey documents. Also in the news, uh, talk about persecuting your political rival. Illinois judge orders the removal of Donald Trump from the primary ballot. So now Trump's not going to be on the ballot in Illinois. Uh, said by an Illinois judge. This one will probably be challenged as well. Blah blah blah. Um, the whole political system is just a big ass mess at this point. Damn. Huh. Also in the court news, the U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to consider Trump's immunity claim on an election interference case. Arguments in late April. So the United States Supreme Court is finally going to take some action and take a stand on something. We'll see what comes of that too. It would be interesting to see those arguments and see what comes of that specific endeavor. Now I'm just trying to find ones without sound because if it's going to be like that, you guys may have heard of this one. Hazmat teams are on the scene of the Florida home of Donald Trump Jr. after he opened a letter with white powder came out. So there's concerns, obviously, with the anthrax, blah blah blah. Tom Daschle after 9/11, that kind of stuff. So, this was on February 26th. So this was 4 days ago. Multiple fire trucks and personnel in hazmat suits have been spotted outside DJT's home in Jupiter, Florida, after he received a letter containing an unidentified white powder. According to 3 sources familiar with the matter, Trump Jr., the eldest son of former President Donald Trump, opened an envelope causing white powder to fly out, as reported by one of the sources. A representative for the president's son stated it remains unclear what exactly the substance was, but confirmed that Trump Jr.'s life does not appear to be in danger. And then the first one, the comments are sometimes best. Was Hunter Biden the return address? And then in a related story, Hunter Biden has filed a claim with UPS Insurance. Not saying it's mine, but can I have that coat back? So, yeah, I don't know. Could just be a scare, but there's always concern with those kind of packages because they could have something that could harm people. So, what's up, Jacob Castro over on Rumble? How you doing, buddy? In other, hey, what's up, Fiery? In other terrible news, financier Lord Jacob Rothschild died at 87 years young. He was a major figure in the banking dynasty under his family name Rothschild. So they must be running low on the Clinton juice if he was allowed to die. Some say that there's going to become some kind of shakeup with the banking and that kind of thing. Remains to be seen what takes place and what happens there. Let's see. Let's see if the sound's actually working now. Pro-Palestinian protesters have taken over NBC's central lobby to disrupt President Biden's appearance on Late Show with Seth Meyers. I'm not even going to play a clip of it. It was uber cringe, pretty terrible. But of course, woke eating woke, and somebody tell me if the sound's working this time. Yeah, he does one of the late shows. I literally have no idea what the problem could be. Because I'm getting sound in there. Getting sound in there. Hang on, let me leave and come back. I'll be right back. Just hang out for a second, boys and girls. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see if that helped. Okay, now there's exactly what that is. So StreamYard just did an update, so of course it's going to be shitty with sharing tab audio again because every time they do an update, it goes to hell. But yeah, so more. I'll listen to it because I don't trust you, D's. Stop arming genocide as the police have made multiple arrests. We'll see if any of them get charged. They won't. So now we're gonna go back to the potato in chief, and so he had note cards for his speech. He had note cards, and he still mistook one country for another, and made several other gaffes. But he's fine, ladies and gentlemen. We're just making a big deal out of it. He's fine. Nothing's wrong with him. He's 100% there. So, yep.
Today, also, we're going to discuss the Middle East and yesterday's tragic and alarming event in North Gaza, trying to get humanitarian assistance in there. And the loss of life is heartbreaking. People are so desperate that innocent people got caught in a terrible war, unable to feed their families, and you saw the response when they tried to get aid in. And we need to do more, and the United States will do more. In the coming days, we're going to join with our friends in Jordan and others in providing airdrops of additional food and supplies into Ukraine, and seek to continue to open up other avenues into Ukraine, including the possibility of a Marine corridor to deliver large amounts of humanitarian assistance. In addition to expanding deliveries by land, as I said, we're going to insist that Israel facilitate more.
It's really, it's the clip. The clip's really low.
More and more people the help they need.
Sounds boosted to 600%.
Aid flowing to Gaza is nowhere nearly enough.
Turn on the second one.
It's nowhere nearly enough. Innocent lives are on the line, and children's lives are on the line. I mean, we won't stand by and let until we get more aid in there. We should be getting hundreds of trucks in, not just several. And I won't stand by. We won't let up, and we're not going to pull out, trying to pull out every stop we can to get more assistance in. So, and here's the deal. We've been working, and hopefully we'll know shortly, and I know you've been informed. We're trying to work out a deal between Israel and Hamas on the hostages being returned and immediate ceasefire in Gaza for at least the next 6
I think he's
weeks,
actually falling asleep.
and to allow the surge of aid to the entire Gaza Strip, not just the South, but the entire Gaza Strip.
He just so unenergetic. And then you take him and you drop him in his favorite place in the whole world, the ice cream shop. And he's still just he's so incoherent in everything.
Hi, how are you? Hi. See you guys. You like ice cream too? Yeah. No more ice cream. We're in for a treat.
So we listed up there.
Pretty going with the President of the United States and the number two things: Ray-Ban sunglasses and ice cream.
No better combo.
Being a creep, as usual.
That is.
We've got mint chip, we've got coffee
How
affogato.
about mint chip?
Mint chip, you got it.
And how about then sugar?
Sugar cone, yeah.
Okay.
I was worried you were going to be that guy who asked for all the samples.
We can get you some.
By the way, I'm the last of the big spenders in the east, so whatever he's at.
Oh, look at that. I'll do a honeycomb.
Honeycomb?
Yeah,
Would you like that on a waffle
I'll
cone?
have it the same way.
Sugar cone, you got it.
There you go. There you go. I should drink for the day. Excellent, excellent,
I
excellent.
got a little cash. If anybody want ice cream?
Yeah, okay.
You turn the camera, do you want anything? Not a bribe.
No, no, I got a little.
Why did you order now this whole thing? You're only on Thursday. Why don't we have that?
I've been planning to go Thursday. What I didn't know is my good friend apparently is gone.
And will you meet with migrants while you're there, Mr. President?
Well, I'm not going to announce ahead of time. Secret Service don't like me announcing exactly what I'm doing.
You guys know that name, you guys know that name, that's wrong.
Can you give us a sense of when you think that ceasefire will start?
Well, I hope by the beginning of the weekend. I mean, the end of the weekend. At least my national security advisor
Hey,
tells
Bobo.
me that we're close. We're close. It's not done yet. And my hope is by next Monday, we'll have.
Of course it's a bribe.
Okay, thank
Okay, thank you guys so much.
So by Monday, he's going to have a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza. I wonder if Israel or Gaza knows that. Somebody that should ask if either Israel or Gaza has approved that. So, or Hamas, whatever. So we haven't heard from Heels Up in a while, but now the government's now they're going to not use the Democrats' money to pay to have people register voters and harvest ballots. Now the government's going to pay college students to do it for them. So this is great news if you love free and fair elections and don't want your vote stolen. This is great news.
Have under the federal work study program now allows students to get paid through federal work study to register people and to be nonpartisan poll workers. As we know, this is important for a number of reasons. One, to engage our young leaders in this process and activate them in terms of their ability to strengthen our community.
Joe said the previous election was the greatest voter fraud organization this country's ever seen. They're going to up that by 100 times in this next go round. So that will be fun. We can't wait for that to happen. And to prove that none of this matters and none of it means shit, this just happened yesterday. Congress approved short-term funding extension to prevent government shutdown. So instead of going to negotiate, going to write a clean bill, I told you last week when what's his nuts was up there, Speaker of the House, saying, "Oh, we're gonna stand tough and we're gonna blah 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 blah." Nope, you just rolled. You allowed another short-term extension. You allowed more bullshit. And it's just gonna continue like this. There's never gonna be any stand up. There's never ever gonna be any pushback. There's never gonna be anything. It's just going to be short-term funding bill after short-term funding bill, and to hell with it. So, and then I wanted to contrast that with oh yeah, because she said it's nonpartisan, so it's cool. It won't be bad. Sometimes we do get little wins, little teeny tiny wins. Tennessee House passes a bill that would ban pride LGBTQIA plus flags in public school classrooms. Even though Justin's making an appearance, he just explains it so much better. So much better. Did I get rid of that clip? No, I didn't. So these flags will be banned.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
Yeah. So, but their flags will be banned in American schools, as they probably should be.
The fact that we haven't had another mass shooting in Florida since Parkland since we passed these gun reforms.
Thank you, sir.
It's ma'am. Thank you. The fact that we haven't had another mass shooting in Florida
We'll
since
watch that
Parkland
again.
since we passed these gun reforms.
Thank you, sir.
It's ma'am. Thank you.
Says it all. It might be. If not, it should be. No, I don't even want to look. Gross. So, on the next political theater moment, Joe and Donald Trump. Hey, what's up, Alex? No. Damn. So both leaders in recent days, I think it might have been yesterday, went down to Brownsville, had competing events and went to different places at the border to, politically grandstand and talk about all the good they were going to do. So this is Biden's message to Trump.
I understand my predecessor's legal past today. So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together. You know and I know it's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen. So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? Let's remember who the heck we work for. We work for the American people, not the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. We work for the American people. And let's remember who we are. We're the United States of America. No, I mean this. Think about this. There's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing when we work together. And if all things we should be working together on is this, we have the formula to get it done.
And then he gives us his plan to close the border, fix border patrol or border control, and stop illegal immigration. Here it is, people. Are you ready for it? This is his plan with Donald Trump.
The idea there's no such thing as climate change. I love that, man. I love some of my Neanderthal friends who still think there's no climate change. The idea there's no such thing as climate.
So that's his big plan. Fix the border is climate change. So here is Joe Biden being escorted by Border Patrol and Secret Service. It's allegedly at a more secure area in the border, and he's touring the border. He just looks like does this man look like President of the United States right there? It's just sad. Wouldn't you love that job as Border Patrol, having to... gross. I got your DM, Digger. I'll bring it up when we get to the Trudeau corner. So then, like I said, Donald Trump also went to the border. He gave a pretty lengthy speech. So here's him, shots fired back, calling out the Biden administration for the border.
Was barbarically attacked, almost unrecognizable, while she was out on her morning run. She was a morning run. She was doing keep herself in shape. She was a beautiful young woman. She was a great person, best nursing student there was. I spoke to her parents yesterday. They're incredible people. They're devastated beyond belief. But she was beautiful, just so beautiful in so many ways, and brutally assaulted, horrifically beaten, kidnapped, and savagely murdered. The monster that charged in the death is an illegal alien migrant who was led into our country and released into our communities by crooked Joe Biden. He's crooked. I took the name away from Hillary because she's no longer relevant, I guess. She was terrible, but what he is doing is just unbelievable. Joe Biden will never say Laken Riley's name, but we will say it and we will remember it. We're not going to forget her. It's been just a horrible story that we've had to live with for the last few days. It's hard to believe. And her parents are just, they can never be the same. Great people.
So that's referencing Laken Riley, who was killed by an illegal immigrant. We'll get to some of that a little bit later. But yeah, so that's Trump firing back at Biden's failed border policy. If you wonder why the border's going to shit, Mayorkas is going to tell you.
And I'd like to understand from you what Trump-era immigration policies have been banned, ended, reversed, and if any investigations are underway by you.
So we have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them.
And I'd like to understand from you.
There you go. It would take so much time to list them because there's been so many of Trump's policies that they've completely demolished. Take a system that was working and destroy it. That's how you destroy this country. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. And could this be one of them? I made a reference to Clinton juice with the Rothschilds earlier. Maybe. I don't know. You guys decide.
Migrant runaways. Children who came across the southern border alone were placed by the U.S. government with an adult sponsor and then vanished.
Kids like 15-year-old Yenny, who was last spotted with a black backpack getting into a white pickup truck. No one will say where she went. Selena was just 16 when she ran away from her sponsor's home weeks ago.
Cesar, also 16, left his uncle's home one day and never returned.
Each of these children disappeared from the small town of Culpeper, Virginia, about a 2-hour drive from Washington, D.C.
Hey, Linda.
These are all my missing kids right here.
These files are pretty thick.
It's Culpeper Police Detective Norma McGuckin's job to try to find them. And she says her cases all seem to unfold the same way.
The sponsor will take him in or her, and then within 30 days tops, a couple days sometimes, and then the child just picks up and leaves.
You called this a crisis.
We have 21 missing still.
That's a crisis.
On a small
Jesus
town.
Christ.
Yeah.
Very small town.
Every chance she gets, McGuckin drives through these neighborhood streets looking for any sign of the missing kids. Pretty much all these neighborhoods, you can point to a house where
Yes.
an unaccompanied minor has run away.
Yes, on this side back here.
I mean, in one town, yeah. In one town. But nothing to see here. Nothing's going on here, boys and girls. Donald Trump also responded with a new ad. So we'll watch that.
Following some breaking news out of Athens, Georgia.
2 colleges have canceled classes today as police look for a murderer.
Laken Riley was described as a shining light.
Dean's List nursing student.
Police arrested 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra.
Ibarra crossed into Texas illegally back in September of 2022, then was released into the United States on parole.
We're confident this border is secure.
We have a secure border.
We agree that the border is secure.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border.
The border is closed. The border is secure.
We have taken unprecedented action.
Look, the border is not open.
Fox News can now confirm that Jose Antonio Ibarra was busted last year in New York City. But ICE didn't even have time to put in a detainer on him because, hey, he was already back out on the streets.
I agree. You're not safe in Joe Biden's America. And neither does our next. Marianne Williamson has unsuspended her presidential campaign as of 2 days ago. We're not going to watch this whole video because it's just no. It's like 5 minutes long and it doesn't say anything but Joe Biden's a piece of garbage. And she's coming back, blah, blah, blah. It was very, very much so that, wasn't it? So, that brings us to who's in, who's out. So Marianne Williamson apparently has re-entered the race. Could be because there's some fuckery gonna happen with Kamala Harris being, elevated, blah blah blah. So we look to Nimrata, who lost contest in both Michigan and South Carolina in the last couple days. Yeah, if Joe Biden if he dies or she assumes the ticket because she's on the ticket. So Nimrata lost contest in Michigan and South Carolina, her home state. So this is her response.
I don't believe Donald Trump can beat Joe Biden. Nearly every day, Trump drives people away, including with his comments just yesterday.
Oh, wham, 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 bitch. Nobody wants you either. So if all you're doing is creating a fracture in the party, and I know that's what you're trying to do, because we can see it here, we can see it on the state and local level here too as well. It's you want Trump out so bad that you'll destroy everything. They're afraid of Donald Trump. All right, I saved this clip for this point because we can bag on former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden all we want, right? But this is important to the next two articles that we have coming up. So I just listen to the words.
And stand here in front of this portrait, the man behind me here. He said, and I want to make sure I get the quote exactly right. He said, the better angel, he said, we must address the council and address the better angels of our nature. And we do well to remember what else he said. He said, we're not enemies, but we're friends. It's in the part of the Civil War. He said, we're not enemies, but we're friends. We must not be enemies. Folks, and I've been around, I know I don't look it, I've been around a long while. And I mean this sincerely. Politics has gotten too bitter. And
so we have a letter from the physician to the president from the White House. Miranda from Corinne Jean-Pierre, and we'll hear her comments after. As requested by the patient, the following summary of the current health status of President Joseph R. Biden. The president feels well, and this year's physical identifies no new concerns. He continues to be fit for duty and fully executes all of his responsibilities without any exemptions or accommodations. As in previous years, I've conducted a comprehensive review of President Biden's medical history and performed detailed physical examination. The physical is again included specialty consultation with several of our presidential specialty consultants from the Walter Reed National Medical Center. The specialties have included optometry, dentistry, orthopedics, foot and ankle, orthopedic spine, physical therapy, neurology, sleep medicine, cardiology, radiology, and dermatology. Each of these specialists have been independently reviewed by the chart examined by the president, or examined the president, and concur with my findings and recommendations. I've also solicited feedback from my respected colleagues, the other physicians in the White House medical unit who see the patient every day. Each of these doctors has reviewed my report for accuracy. My conclusions have been further informed through decisions with several of my fellow professors from George Washington University School of Medicine and Health Sciences. This document updates my last statement from February 16, 2023. Today's memorandum speaks to the president's current health and fitness and addresses any interval change. You heard it. He's fine. There's nothing cognitively wrong. Although he declined the cognitive test.
And did the president take a mental fitness or cognitive test during his physical this morning?
So let me just say, I did see Dr. O'Connor, and he stopped by my office earlier today after the president completed his physical this morning, as you all know. He was happy with how everything went. And as soon as he finishes completing the memo, it will be a robust, comprehensive memo. We will certainly share that with all of you, as we have done in the last 2 years. And look, you saw the president return to work. He took some of your questions not too long ago, and you saw he's going to continue to fight for the American people. In this particular instance, he was talking about fighting crime. So the president's going to continue that process. As it relates to, you were asking me about a cognitive test. As it relates to that, look, the president doesn't need a cognitive test. That is not my assessment. That is not my assessment. That is the assessment of the president's doctor. That is also the assessment of the neurologist, who has also made that assessment as well. And, and you've heard us say this, and I'll reiterate this, the president's doctor has said, if you look at what this president, the president who is also the commander in chief, he passes a cognitive test every day, as he moves from one topic to another topic, understanding the granular level of these topics. You saw him talk about fighting crime today. Tomorrow, he's going to go to the border. Next week, he's going to give a State of the Union address. And so we have to keep that in mind. This is a very rigorous job, and the president has been able to do this job every day for the past 3 years. And let's not forget, he is also leading a historic presidency, which is also important to note in everything that we've been able to do. He's been able to get done over the past 3 years.
But given that there's been so much scrutiny and you say there's no problem, he'd pass the test every day, why not just have his doctor administer the test and then case closed?
Because the doctor doesn't believe that he needs one, because including the neurologist doesn't believe he needs one. Look, I think folks need to understand that the president passes, again, a cognitive test every day. If you look at what a clinical cognitive test is actually, what it actually does, it is a 15-minute appointment that is administered by someone that most of the time people don't actually know. And the president has a team of doctors that is with him 24/7. And he is able to do the work every day that is rigorous, that is more rigorous than it would be for any 15-minute clinical appointment. And you think about the job growth, you think about the record small business action, you think about the bloom in that particular space of 16 million more small businesses have been created. You think about delivering historic investment. That has been done by a president who has to deal with these issues every day, again, on a granular level.
She's into the ladies.
And so his doctor, including the neurologist, do not believe that he needs one.
So we're wrong. Joe Biden is perfectly fit to be president of the United States. And just to hammer that point home, this is another speech. This was early last week. Just to be sure.
I know you just heard, did Jill already speak, my wife? Well, what the hell am I doing here? I know.
Nobody knows, Joe, and you don't either. Oh, I know. That they could, you're going to lie on the test anyways. You're going to change how it comes out and what it means. So what the hell does it even matter? Just make some shit up. Like you do with everything else. I don't know. It's a shit show. But yeah, he's perfectly healthy enough to make this statement. So, this is his plan for his next administration, his next 4 years.
We're going to finish the job. We're going to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines next time around because it has to be done.
Fuck you, Joe. Fuck you, Joe. I mean, if I'm not going to say it because I'll get in trouble, but good luck. Good luck, sir. Good luck. Oh, I know. They were pretty good. Come and take him, buddy. Come and take him. I hope you come to my paper, or come to take mine. Sorry, I was reading paper. I hope you come to take mine personally. So, Hunter Biden, his son, a totally smartest guy he knows, totally upstanding citizen, he finally testified in his closed door hearing. Yes, come to Mighty's paper. Yeah. Yeah. Come take it. So he just closed their hearing. Matt Gaetz is walking through, and he gets asked a question, and he gives some response. So,
yeah, I'd say that there were a number of interesting moments, but perhaps none more interesting than when Hunter Biden told us that he joined the Burisma board to counter Russian aggression. I hadn't heard that one before. That thank goodness we had Hunter Biden on the Burisma board because that was central to his strategy to stand up to Vladimir Putin. Has he taken the fifth at all? No, he's been responsive to questions.
Has he told you exactly what value he brought to any of these wars, any of these companies yet? Have you guys asked him that?
Yeah, we've asked those
Exactly.
questions, and there is an illusory value. It is a mirage to believe that Hunter Biden was engaged in international business. This was a bribe masquerading as an international business transaction. Nothing more, nothing less.
Can we just quickly ask you?
Do you still feel the impeachment inquiry is heading in a direction where you'll actually be able to vote on articles of impeachment?
Well, here we're asking questions about these corrupt business practices. I'm not really framing that through the lens of next steps. I'm just trying to get the facts.
Biden wrote that if you join the board to support Russia in his book, why don't you
I have to say I thought it was a pretty strange statement. Either perhaps it jumps off the page when he says it in his own words.
Do you think has he said anything that specifically? Do you think you've seen evidence that the president was involved in those business dealings yet?
I believe that you can actually bribe someone by paying their family members. Like, I don't get this construct that unless Joe Biden himself received cash, that he somehow wasn't involved in the bribery operation. Joe Biden was doing the bidding of Burisma. He was doing the bidding of Chinese communists, and his family was getting enriched as a consequence. To me, that's a pretty strong case for bribery.
Really quickly, I'm sure you've heard the news about Mitch McConnell.
Quit trying to steal my thunder, pink coat lady. We're going to get to that one after. One thing that worries me about that clip, and listening to it again, I don't think it's as I'm not as concerned as I originally was. But when he said, "I don't think that you have to directly bribe so and so to blah blah blah," I forget the exact quote, but that makes me think that they don't have anything of Joe taking direct money, and that's going to be a concern in the media. You're going to have more than ever. Damn it, Bobby. You're going to have more than ever to convict this asshole, or get any kind of anything. So that gives me a little bit of pause and a little bit of reason for concern, because he didn't come out and say, hey, we have an outfit, Joe took money. It was kind of a step back where you don't have to take the bribe money directly. It can go to your family. So, but we shouldn't look too deep into this, because this lady has words.
We're talking about someone who is an actual citizen, just a regular citizen. We're not talking about somebody who could not pass a background check, yet somehow ended up being appointed to his administration. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a son that was struggling, a son that lost his mom, a son that lost his brother, a son that lost his sister.
A regular schmegular. And what is up with this? What is this? Like, what is this? serious question. Hey, what's up, Shenny? What have we missed? Biden is perfectly healthy and able to run the country, and Hunter did nothing wrong. That's about what we've got so far. Now we're going to Canada Corner. Here's Trudeau saying the quiet part out loud. We know that Russia must win this war. And we'll get to some of that shit later, because there's some interesting goings on in that front as well.
And we're stepping up in every way we can, because we know that Russia must win this war. Sorry, that Ukraine must win this war against Russia.
What? Wait, what? Russia must win this war. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? And this was sent in by Digger. This is Trudeau's daughter.
Hope prepare, eh? He has your hope. My dad is only trying to take me to Jamaica. I asked him for a Jamaican vacation. And he said, okay. And he's taking all of your taxpayers' money to take me to Jamaica.
Or she got an audience for real.
They're all bad. They're all bad.
So?
This conservatives are
You're
the
back.
Kanye West. I sold my soul to Kanye West.
What's your favorite Kanye album?
Dropped out of college because I did drop out of college.
What college were you at?
University of Toronto. I sprayed. You see all this spray paint? That was me.
That was all you.
Yeah, that was me. I did that yesterday.
That's really impressive. That's really
Free Israel. Israel is for the people.
Really?
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm with Israel.
She is white, Western leader wasted.
I cut off all my hair for Israel. This is a wig. Okay, yeah.
That's impressive. Thank you.
Yes, my dad's Justin Trudeau.
What's your name?
He's
What's your
trying
name?
to take all of your money. Don't vote for the Liberal Party. Vote for conservative. Guys, my dad's Justin Trudeau. He's trying to take your money to take me to Jamaica. Vote for Justin Trudeau. He's trying to take me to Jamaica. Vote for Bernie.
She created a whole audience in McDonald's.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau's daughter, who just wants to go to Jamaica. Yeah. Oh, she's definitely plastered. I'm not entirely sure. Do you happen to know, Digger? Trudeau's daughter age. I don't think that was her. She's university age, so go hard. I can't find it. Yeah, that was an unhinged rant. I know that much. 19 to be legally drunk. Yeah, but she's also Trudeau's daughter, so. You think so? Huh. I don't know. That was odd. It was odd how she kind of bashed him. Unless she's that much of an entitled bitch that she just bashed her dad's political career because she really wanted to go to Jamaica, which I guess in today's day and age might not be that much of a stretch. Possibly. 2009, her daughter was born. So that only makes her 15, though. She was definitely not 15. Was she 15 and plastered? Great job, Trudeau. Piece of shit. That would make her 15 now, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't think 15 and that smashed. She could hate him, but still, that was pretty rough. But thank you for the clip, Digger. So, Make America Great Again met Make Argentina Great Again. God damn it, these. I'm just glad I didn't make any original comments. Later. So Make Argentina Great Again met Make America Great Again. Javier Milei met Donald Trump.
President! Nice to meet you. It's a very big pleasure to know you, President. It's an honor for me. Thank you for the work for
Yeah, but that's even a little young.
I'm very happy.
Maybe not.
Very serious. Thank you very much. It's a very big pleasure. You're doing a great job. Thank you. MAGA, make Argentina great again. Come on, let's have some pictures. Come on. Yeah, you look fantastic.
No, I haven't yet. I didn't see
Make
that.
Argentina. You are very serious. Very great. You were a very great president. And I won't forget you. I promise that. Thank you very much.
Okay, we can't really hear what they're saying anyways, but really cool. Neat for them to meet each other. Both of them have similar tracks and similar influence. This next story comes to me with great sadness, because it may be to where Cheese doesn't make fun of him anymore. And that would make me sad. And I asked Cheese to come on tonight, but he ignores my messages. The Turtle in Chief. This will be my last term as Republican leader. I'm not a turtle. Mitch McConnell is retiring. So, what is it to say?
But now it's 2024. I'm now 82. As Ecclesiastes tells us, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. To serve Kentucky in the Senate has been the honor of my life. To lead my Republican colleagues has been the highest privilege. But one of life's most underappreciated talents is to know when it's time to move on to life's next chapter. So I stand before you today, Mr. President, and my colleagues, to say this will be my last term as Republican leader of the Senate. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. However, I'll complete my job. My colleagues have given me until we select a new leader in November, and they take the helm next January. I'll finish the job the people of Kentucky hired me to do as well, albeit from a different seat. And I'm actually looking forward to that.
Wait, so he's just stepping down from leadership? He's staying in Congress? What a piece of shit. I stand corrected, because he said from a different seat. Interesting, a couple of years ago, I was driving through Kentucky, and there was actually billboard signs that said Moscow Mitch on them, and I kind of got a kick out of it, so. So, that the almighty turtle is going to step down from being the leader of the Republican Party. So, so we're sad to see him go, but apparently he's not going very far, just one seat over. So we move on to what's going on in the conflict world. And breaking. I can say it just happened a couple hours ago. Digger. A commercial fisherman has spotted a suspected spy balloon off the coast of Alaska. Commercial fisherman off the coast of Alaska has discovered what officials fear might be another spy balloon. And they're bringing it to shore. Three sources familiar with the matter indicate that FBI agents will meet the fishing vessel on its weekend arrival in port. The Bureau will then transport the unidentified balloon to the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia for analysis, following the protocol used with previous surveillance balloons. The fisherman shared photographs of the object with law enforcement upon encountering it. So that's where it was found. That's the suspected balloon. And there was one over Colorado earlier this week. So it seems that Chinese are getting back to their balloons. Bobby said it's not a spy balloon. Bobby said it's not a spy balloon. So that's the indication that there's some kind of Chinese balloons coming over. So there's satellites and drones. 2024, nobody's putting up spy balloons. Yeah, but it's a much more low tech option. More spy balloon. Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that. Fuck you, Matt. Anyways, probably shouldn't say this either, but the U.S. Army is cutting its force by 24,000 due to recruiting shortfalls. And you gotta love the first comment ever on X. Real head scratcher as to why. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Please hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Also, I don't have a story for it, but there's several indications. I think we cover it. Let me see. There's all kinds of aid that's about to go into Gaza. New Zealand designates entirety of Hamas as a terrorist entity. So the Kiwis have one up on the ISIS because, shit happens. Also, this one particularly pissed me off because I don't think you should be compelled to use any of your private technology that's not used for that purpose for someone's bullshit. House committee demands Elon Musk provide SpaceX satellite services to military in Taiwan. On Saturday, the House China Committee sent a letter to Elon Musk pressing for access to SpaceX's Starshield for U.S. troops stationed in Taiwan. The letter followed a Taiwan visit by the committee chair, Rep. Mike Gallagher, and lawmakers who discovered Starshield wasn't operational for American troops in the region. Despite Taiwan's independent governance, Beijing officials persist in expressing their desire to reunify the island with mainland China. So what that tells me is China's getting ready to move on Taiwan, and Taiwan now wants Starshield and wants Musk to provide them information and access. And I say, if you don't want to, Mr. Musk, fuck him. Yep. But that's, you shouldn't be compelled to do anything, but. Yeah, but taking taxpayer money, a lot of companies take taxpayer money. Most startups in the United States takes taxpayer money at some point or some kind of government-derived funding. So all technology belongs to the government because that's means production to the government. That's communism. Yeah, fuck them. Well, we used to, and it wasn't such a great place. moving on. U.S. President, here it is. President Biden is reportedly preparing to announce today that the beginning of humanitarian aid operations for Gaza Strip with airdrops by the U.S. Air Force from bases in Jordan expected to start within the next 48 to 72 hours. So we're going to drop a ton of airborne supplies and all kinds of stuff into Gaza Strip. That's going to definitely go to the people of Gaza. Definitely. None of that's going to get taken by anybody else. Back to Canada. The Canadian Minister of National Defense, Bill Blair, stated today that Canada is willing to participate in NATO-led training mission for Ukraine, which would involve the Department of limited contingent of Canadian service members into Ukraine, who would assist training of Ukrainian armed forces and act as non-combatant role against Russia away from the front lines. So we'll see this one. We'll see another one. Actually, let me see if I can find. Because everything is shit. I thought I had it. Oh, right here. Got it. Never mind. Sorry, I had it backwards. So the Canadians are going to send troops, and then mysteriously get attacked, and then there's going to be loss of life, and then we're engaged with Russia. And then you see the Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz, revealed this week that French and British troops are on the ground in Ukraine, assisting Ukrainian Air Force with launch of Scalp, e.g. Storm Shadow air-launched long-range cruise missiles towards targets in Russia. Occupied Crimea, which he stated would also be required of German servicemen if they were provided Ukraine with their Taurus long-range cruise missiles. So all that speculation where we said, well, they said the Ukrainians pulled the trigger, but the Americans targeted and flew the planes and blah blah blah, wasn't far off, because now we have French and British troops that are on the ground already operating. And if you're targeting and setting it up, I think you're involved in the war. So just interesting that they're finally admitting to it. And then that brings us to the next. Again, there wasn't I don't want to get into the story. The story is long and sucks. But Putin makes direct threats to nuke the West as he accuses NATO and the U.S. of preparing to strike Russia in his annual address to the nation. That might be something that if I get a second to play this weekend, I may throw it up. I haven't found one with English translations yet, and I cannot speak Russian quick enough to translate, nor do I want to even try. But he just basically their State of the Union address, and obviously the troops are there, and I mean one of these times it's going to happen. And the reason why I think this is a much more credible than just the random saber rattling this time, Bobby. You have regional partners or regional countries. A group of Belarusian dissidents said they're planning a coup against the country's authoritarian ruler, Alexander Lukashenko, to be executed at the right time. And then you also have Transnistria and Moldova. The Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has stated carefully considering to help request against Moldova presented yesterday by the Transnistrian County Council of Deputies, who claim they're being isolated financially from the world by the Moldovan government. So he's pulling the same thing that, and I think he has claim to it. I think it's a delicate situation that we've allowed to get this far. I think that there's concern that he did the same thing, the Black Sea this is Ukraine right here saying, oh, that they wanted to join us, blah, blah, blah. And maybe they did. I don't know. I'm not on the ground. But he's trying to basically the same game against Moldova and Transnistria and this whole kind of darker yellow. So he's going to invade the next country over, Moldova, and take that as soon as he cleans up Ukraine. So some people could have been right. I don't know. Time will tell. But and then the United States is ramping back up. Significant U.S. and coalition reinforcements have arrived earlier today in the Rumyan landing zone within the Al-Haska Governorate of northwestern Syria, with reinforcements arriving from western Iraq and consisting of 10 M2A3 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, as well as over 5 CH-47 Chinook transport helicopters. So we have another Middle Eastern buildup. That's why I said might happen again, where we go into the Middle East. So the world is getting tense and stuff's popping up. So very interesting time. So all right. So now we're going to Crime Corner, a much shorter Crime Corner. Prison Planet, whatever the hell I call it. You know what I call it. Much shorter because there wasn't a ton. There wasn't a ton today. But I did want to get into a couple things that are viewer discretion is advised. Because some of them are pretty graphic in detail. So, but when we get to the really bad one, I will let you know. So we'll start off with I had it. Where the hell did it go? We'll start off with the young lady in Georgia. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one because that was too much. Lake and Riley, and we'll kind of go back from there. So, Georgia student murder suspect confirmed to be illegal alien. University of Georgia Police Department arrested 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra in connection with 22-year-old Laken Riley's death. Ibarra, an illegal immigrant and not UGA student, had no personal acquaintance with Riley, police said. DHS confirmed Ibarra's illegal status from Venezuela entering in September 22, while El Paso, Texas, released due to detention space shortage. And that's some bullshit. UGA Police Chief Jeff Clark stated at a news conference he saw an individual and bad things happened. Expected charges against Ibarra include malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, kidnapping, hindering a 911 call, and concealing the death of another. Riley's body was discovered on UGA Thursday after a jog caused of death attributed to blunt force trauma. So this is kind of just a video. There's no real substance to it. It's just kind of a tribute video to Miss Riley.
You're a bad boy. Swear. You. I see it. So you're smiling at your phone because you had that plan. I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to hide my face if I looked up at you. I knew. Join in, everybody. Oh, you look so good.
There's a place I go to when no one knows. It's not long. It's a necessary thing. It's a place I made. Find out what I made. The nights I'll stay.
Me and my kids.
Stars and fighting sleep. Let it wash over me. I'm ready to lose my feet. Take me off to the place where one means life's mystery. Steady on down the line. Lose every sense of time. Take it all in and wake up that small part of me. Day to day, I'm blind to see and find how far to go. Everybody got the reason. Everybody got the way. We're just catching and releasing what builds up throughout the day. It gets into your body, it flows right through your blood. And tell each other secrets and remember how to love.
Hey kids, this is your mom and her college roommate that she talks about all the time. Auntie Lakin, TT Lakin. TT Lakin.
Poor kid. Because somebody just can't help themselves and it's just, I don't know, it's the consequence. It's what happens because of inaction or because of the things that happen to others. And it's truly sad. It's terrible. And people die in this country every day. But when it's senseless and could have been avoided, it's bullshit. Yeah, and mom and family and everybody else that's even remotely tangentially related, it's up to cause. And then you have CNN who has to defend their immigration.
Well, I think when a horrible tragedy like this happens, I think whenever we're dealing with violent crime, there is a sense of outrage, of sadness, and of loss. But I think the important thing to focus on is any one instance shouldn't shape our overall immigration policy. Well, I think.
Yeah, it's always play your damn politics. It's always disgusting. Yes, but it's ma'am. So, and then this is encouraging because you're starting to see where people get up in the faces of our leadership and not figuratively, or figuratively not actual, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're starting to challenge leadership. So this is the Athens, Georgia mayor trying to gaslight and bullshit, and you can hear citizens yelling and really challenging the narrative or the gaslighting, and that's encouraging because we need to do more of that.
City doesn't track with either of those, and so that term means different things to different people depending on the context of the discussion.
We know what it means.
Many of the elements.
Liar.
Many of the elements.
Liar. Liar.
We are here to listen.
Liar. You're a liar.
We are here to listen.
Liar.
There'll be time for questions.
You are guilty and got blood on your head for this murder, sir.
Many of the aspects that are ascribed to sanctuary cities
We know what sanctuary
are things that are disallowed by Georgia law.
Sanctuary policy, which is what we do.
And we contribute a document every year to the Georgia Department of Audits indicating that we do not correspond to these definitions under state law.
Yes, you do.
And no policies have been adopted by the mayor and commission that have created sanctuary city status in
Sir,
Athens.
You need to resign.
One protocol that sometimes arises.
Resign now. You allow
One protocol.
this to happen, sir.
One protocol that
You
sometimes
voted for
arises is the approach that Sheriff.
Make these assholes uncomfortable. Don't let them get away with it. Hey, what's up, Jude? Thanks for stopping by. Don't let people get away with this kind of shit, though. Just don't let it happen. I mean, it's obvious that there were situations in place where this young lady was not protected, and her life was not valued as much as it should have been. And you have to we have to stand up to this kind of stuff, and we have to push back. And I think it's encouraging. I think it's encouraging to see. So, hey, thanks, Jude. Member for 3 months. Thank you. Yeah, but every little bit, make these people uncomfortable. Make it tough for them to stand up there and bullshit. Is my opinion, for what it's worth. So, this happened yesterday, so I don't get to say the breaking. Maryland State House on lockdown with police drawing their weapons and rushing inside the building. Police presence, blah, blah, blah. Building is currently evacuated and the State House is on lockdown. An alert has been issued instructing staff members and personnel and community members on the grounds to shelter in place. So this was in Annapolis, Maryland. And it's just B-roll police footage, basically. Nothing suspicious was found at the state capitol building after a threat regarding the building came in around 5 p.m. So it was a threat. Came in and it was quickly dismissed. So nothing to see there. There is something seems to be kind of an uptick. This is number 2 this week. Montgomery, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall today issued a statement regarding the detonation of an explosive device located outside the Alabama Attorney General's office in Montgomery. AG Marshall stated in the early hours of Saturday, February 24th, an explosive device was detonated outside an Alabama Attorney General's office building in Montgomery. Thankfully, no staff or personnel were injured during the explosion. The Alabama law enforcement agency will be leading the investigation, and we're urging anyone with information to contact them immediately. So, supposedly outside of Montgomery, Alabama's AG office, there was a detonation, and it appears nobody was injured. It was probably a gas lighting leak. Possibly. Wait. I can we're not discussing the breaking Monica right now. This dude was injured. I'm not gonna play the video because you can't find a good one that's not all blurred out, and then YouTube would probably have a problem with it. I looked way up. I looked way up. Officials confirm U.S. Air Force member is the man who set himself on fire at the Israeli embassy in D.C. on Sunday. He was protesting genocide in Gaza and shouted "Free Palestine" as he burned alive, officials said. Bystanders extinguished the blaze. The airman, who remained unidentified, is hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. He did succumb to his injuries and he did pass away. But this is a photograph. He burned himself damn good and went up in a blaze. Mental health, ladies and gentlemen, it's important. It's very important to take care of your mental health and not light yourself on fire for a country that doesn't give 2 shits about you. Don't do it. So then we move on. Florida Sheriff White, quote, illegal Honduran arrested for rape of woman at a hotel. A man who was in the U.S. illegally was arrested on charges of battery in a hotel in Inglewood. Just after 9 on Sunday, February 25th, deputies responded to a call from a woman who stated she's just been raped. She went on to state the suspect and her were. She and the suspect were talking, invited him to her room for a couple drinks. According to the victim, it was at that time the suspect pushed her onto the bed and forced herself on her without a contraceptive. The suspect fled from the scene and immediately after, and the victim noted that he was a darker skinned, wearing a bright yellow jacket. So went to treatment, blah, blah, blah. This is the white male. And you can see from the booking sheet, Charlotte County Sheriff, age 25, white male that was born in Honduras. And the reason you bring this up is you're starting to see this more and more. They're underreporting crime from the illegals, and like we were talking about the Miss Riley. They're underreporting these things so that people don't get the picture that they're illegals that are coming in and doing this kind of thing. So it's anything to distract from it. But that's a white man now. You're screwed, Brian. Viewer discretion on this footage. I'll tell you before I play it, but this is rough. This is rough. Alleged killer free on bail after mother-daughter fatally struck while leaving a Drake concert. Monte Henderson released after allegedly causing a fatal crash near a Drake concert in downtown St. Louis. He posted $20,000, representing 10% of his $200,000 bail to secure his release. Charges against Henderson include 2 counts of first-degree involuntary manslaughter and 2 counts of armed criminal action. Police arrested Henderson in connection with February 14th deaths of Letty Bracero, 42, and Elisa Cordova, 21, both from Chicago, Illinois. In the police report, the officer expressed concerns about Henderson's likelihood to voluntarily appear in court and his potential danger to the community. The family insisted Braco and Cordova frequently attended concerts together, including the Drake show they had just left before the incident. So this is security footage. Viewer discretion. It's only like 3 seconds long, so just look away for a second. But if you're not into it, these are the 2 individuals that we're looking at. And yeah, we'll have to probably play it twice. So. I mean, the fuck? That's that one's unfortunate. That one's unfortunate. Just care about people enough to not run them down and run them over with your fucking car as you're running a red light. Just, I mean, it had to be fast as shit. Like, this is a 3-second clip and it's gone. I'm going to play it one more time. Like, bam. Like, that is so fast. Like, that's what we have of it when you stop it. So it's in frame for like a second. Now that is moving fast. This is actually St. Louis, Missouri. So that's what you get when you stop the video. That's how damn fast that car was moving. Like, that is flying. I mean, that's just insane. And it's unfortunate because it just ends up being where just people don't give a damn about somebody else long enough to just it's tough. It's a tough one to watch. So And then you have the flip side. You have people that actually care about each other. So this is in Louisville, Kentucky. I've actually been over this bridge. It's kind of a freaky bridge, but first responders perform insane rescue as semi-truck dangles from a bridge over the Ohio River connecting Indiana and Kentucky. So you'll see in just a second, and I'm going to let this is about 5 minutes. I'm going to put the whole clip play because it's kind of, I don't know, this one's interesting, but we'll watch and then we'll talk about it. Maybe. Exactly. Oh no. Oh shit. Hang on. All right, let's try this time.
Semi-truck somehow dangling off the edge of the Clark Memorial Bridge. We don't know exactly how this happened yet. Rescue crews trying to get to him. Now, when they pull out, you'll see off to the top right of your screen, you'll see the fire truck and all the firefighters up there. But this rescuer went down and just did a miraculous thing. And we couldn't believe what our eyes were seeing. And we're so glad that we were able to break out of a commercial to come and let you watch this at this moment. I wasn't sure that we would catch it. I wasn't sure that it would happen. They were hanging over freezing cold water, the Ohio River. You hit that, it's like hitting cement at that height. Officials say a motor vehicle collision caused this scene. We're learning more now. The bridge is shut down in both directions. But if you want to see faith in action, watch what this rescuer did. Lowered down to the cab's front, pulled the driver out, and now dangling far above, even farther above the Ohio River. Freezing cold temperatures, able to hang on to him. The two of them in one harness. Look at him twirl. Maybe we'll see that he might have been able to get a harness around this man. We can't quite see it, but he would have only had split seconds to do that. Any more weight on that truck would have made it move. Now, what we can't see is what they're doing to secure the truck on the other end, but I don't know how you would. It doesn't look like there's a way to do that. That gravity is so powerful where that truck is. But look where the two are dangling, just at the lip of the bridge. They're going to make it. He's pulling his hand out. We pray. Oh, we pray for this scene. So as we watch this, we don't know the wind conditions. We don't know a whole lot other than the fact that it's very cold, and certainly that water of the Ohio River is. Emily, what are you seeing? You're pointing.
Oh, I'm trying to get a read on the exact name of the department who is engaging in this heroic rescue. I'm overcome and overwhelmed by the bravery, the heroism, and the training we are watching. This is training at its finest. Our first responders put their lives on the line every day, and they are there in that instant. They are the 911 call that people in distress and need who are watching their lives flash before their eyes as they are dangling over a bridge. These are the heroes, and we are watching a heroic rescue in action. God bless these first responders.
All right, so we got close there again to the lip of the bridge. We are unaware about what keeps them back, if that's wind, if that's gravity, if it's what they're trying to do. Can they bring him in with some other sort of ropes as we watch this? This started not long ago, 12:04 p.m. Eastern. It's 12:42 and 10 seconds Eastern right now. So they've been working at it for a while, but not too long. And again, they're struggling to get them back to the lip of the bridge. And look at the man off to the left center, and he's pulling up on those ropes. So this harness situation, they're trying to pull him in as if they were mountain climbing, but had fallen off the mountain. I'm going to guess it probably feels that way. Kaylee, what do you see?
You know, I'm just putting my mind in the mind of this truck driver. I can't tell from this angle whether it's a man or a woman, but I just imagine someone who was doing their job on a Friday, perhaps thinking about going home to their family, and then your truck goes off the side of a bridge and you think it's the end, but the ingenuity of America's best, our first responders show up
Wow. Louisville Metro Police now say that they have not been able to confirm anything more about the collision that started this, but this did involve other vehicles. And so what happened after that collision, again, we don't have all the context of that. There was somebody inside the truck cabin, part of the trailer hovering over the freezing Ohio River. Rescuer goes down. From what we believe, and Emily was pointing out, we're trying to figure out, well, who's responding exactly. But this is a situation that you see they're back near the lip of the bridge and unable as of yet to get pulled in, but they are trying mightily to make that happen. The Clark Memorial Bridge, or 2nd Street Bridge as it is called. Oh my goodness, they're so close. He's got his feet almost on the railing. They can almost reach him. And as I said, the Lord is working a miracle right now before our eyes. And I don't know how he continues to hang on, how they hang on to each other. This is Louisville, Kentucky. The water below freezing. I mentioned if you hit it at this height, it's going to feel like cement, and he got his foot.
Wow.
They've got the left foot of one of the men.
Wow.
You see the ropes that are tethered to the rescuers' harness. They've got him. They're trying to pull him down. I wish we had sound to this. But I can only imagine there've got to be some cheers.
Safe. Yeah.
Cheers to go with all the tears. Oh, there you go.
Just impressive work, gentlemen and ladies. Whoever was there performing that, just incredible. Just nothing short of incredible. Great job. And damn, he should be thankful he's alive. So, now for something that makes a little bit less sense, it was a little bit funnier. My good friend Daza running down the street. So that one, there's no reason why the police say that there's no concern for the man. He just lit himself on fire or got lit on fire somehow. But no concerns or whatever. So it's that was probably for the other one, but it was funny with the delay. So could have been, yeah. Could have been, but they said there was no issue with it, so it just kind of happened. Like there was he wasn't being watched or anything like that. Just crazy, but don't know who this is because I don't watch TV, but you guys probably will. Richard Lewis, comedian, Curb Your Enthusiasm star, died at 76. So that was 2 days ago. Richard Lewis. I know that I've probably seen the guy before. I don't do TV and stuff, so I don't know. So rest in peace, sir. Sure you were good. Just watch the clip.
Parts of speech 6. Them, theirs, themself. Chris. What are pronouns? Those are pronouns, neo-pronouns. You have 62 parts of
The nerds in Jeopardy now are just enough. Just enough with this stupid shit. In tech news, and I don't know why, but the United States sues to block a $24.6 billion merger of U.S. grocery giants Kroger and Albertsons, saying it will lead to higher prices. So that happened a couple days ago, so they'll sue to block that merger. I don't know. So Breaking. This one's not breaking, but I'm still going to read it because it bothers Bobby. This was last week. So numerous firefighters are on the scene battling a massive blaze at a cattle barn, spreading to multiple buildings in Rock Island, Illinois. Numerous firefighters and other emergency crews are on the scene. Massive fire in Rock Island, Illinois. Fires spread throughout multiple buildings, including a barn with livestock and cattle. Fire crews were initially overwhelmed by the massive fire, prompting a request for backup. Heavy flames and smoke can be seen for miles. It's believed that everyone was accounted for and no injuries have been reported. However, multiple animals are presumed to have been killed in the fire. No cause of fire at this time, and it will be investigated once extinguished. This is one hell of a fire.
Look at that. That's on fire. They already had the front part put out. They're working on the back part now. The back part's accelerated.
From the time they came, it's
Rock on. Just the other side of 9th and 38 first. And
The
it's the
livestock
cattle barn, the old cattle
livestock
barn. That some bitch is on. All right, so this is the current update. You can see there's been a lot more tragically.
God damn.
What a hell of a fire.
That's crazy.
Ryan could have went and peed on it. With that big fire hose, I would have put it out. Anyways, moving from one fire to the fire that I'm sure you guys have heard of this week. But it's the Texas fire, the Panhandle fire. Urgent evacuations are underway as a massive and dangerous wildfire rapidly spreads with emergency sirens sound through multiple locations. Mandatory evacuations, significant and dangerous wildfires with 65-mile-an-hour winds, making containment extremely difficult. I was reading a report today that there was single-digit humidity levels, and it's just going to get worse. So high temperatures, low humidity, heavy winds, and a massive fire. So, and we'll get into why this is concerning and an issue in a minute here. At least their animals. Just so they had a kind of a fighting chance to get away from it. Oh, and here's why this is concerning. And then we'll watch a little bit more footage of the fire. Evacuations are underway at a nuclear weapons facility amid approaching fast wildfires, causing them to halt operations. Evacuations are underway at the Pantex nuclear weapons facility in Carson County, Texas, due to rapid spreading of wildfires in the area. The facility, located 21 miles east of Amarillo, holds nearly 20,000 plutonium cores and is actively producing the B-6112 bomb and the W-88 Alt-370 warhead. As the plant responsible for assembling and disassembling America's nuclear arsenal. The plant has halted all operations because the nearby fire is out of control. Focus has shifted entirely to evacuations, with a few non-essential personnel seeking shelter on site. So that's just a picture with the radiation symbol. If this goes up, it's going to be a bad time. So it's still burning around it. Right. You don't just stop. Nah, fuck it. We'll come back to the plutonium tomorrow. Bob, just leave it alone. We'll get back to it. But this seems to be a very large fire. I've been keeping an eye on it. The information is very limited coming out of it. Deez is gonna, if anything goes terribly wrong, he's gonna go swoop me up some plutonium. Finally, but no, I didn't know that they had dropped the aid yet. It's a good idea. Well, that was my other thing. Is kind of odd timing, isn't it? So, kind of odd timing. No, he's still well, Bobby. He didn't give a fuck. See? But yeah, so we obviously hope that everyone makes it out safe in that area of Texas. It looks pretty apocalyptic from some of the videos I saw. If anything breaks with the with any of that information, I will certainly come on with it. It's just been kind of around the outside of the facility. Let me see if they've updated the map anymore. Yeah, see, the last thing is 2 days ago. Last thing is 2 days ago, and that really doesn't give us any indication or help with where it is now. Well, let me pull this. I have to slow this down for just a second. So here's from A&M Forest Service. I think it's a Bloomberg video, but yeah. So here is that's insane. I mean, it looks like a hellscape. It really, truly does. Look at that. Fire tornado. Bro, don't drive that way. It's not a good idea. God damn. So that's what's going on there. And if anything breaks or if it gets any closer, then I will certainly let you guys know. Or if it goes away, we'll just update it next week. And the last story, we don't even really need any information with this one. Just that it happened in Norway. It kind of sums up everything. So
Det är bara att hälsa post. Det är flygtak. Husvägar. Husvägar.
So they claim this is real, and they claim that this is during a live broadcast and totally legitimate. I don't know about all that jazz. It looked pretty close, but Norway, the crazy Vikings, yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to think. Crew 8 for SpaceX. For those anybody who's wondering why I haven't covered it or I'm not currently covering it, Crew 8 has been moved back to March 2nd at I think it's 11:15 Eastern. So SpaceX Create will take place tomorrow evening. So they moved it back a little bit. So, but that's going to be it for me. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.